Hey, I'm back. Sorry, I did not put out 2 videos last week. It's been one of them weeks where there wasn't really anything going on and I didn't do a lot of cooking. So I'm so sorry, but thanks for being here. If you're new here, I'm Kathy and this is Kathy's Country Life. I'm not going to be cooking today. We had a big party with all my family and friends yesterday here to celebrate mine and Chris's birthday. And we cooked out, and we got so much left over. We'll eat leftovers later on, but we are going to do some garden work today. I have squashes, the zucchinis. I'm over. They're dying back anyway, so we're going to dig all them plants up and do some harvesting, and do some stuff outside, and then we'll come in and we may deal with some of this stuff. I've got vegetables everywhere and I need to be putting up stuff. I'm not sure if I'll can anything today or what I'm going to be preserving, but we're going to do something. So I'm about to head out into the garden, and we're going to dig up some stuff and maybe replant some stuff. Let's just see where the day takes us, shall we? Let's go. Okay, this bed, you can see it's dying back. It's just some little bitty squashes that are not even fully developing. I still got some blooms. This plant right here looks healthy. I do have some squash coming up on that one. I may leave that one. But the zucchini plants, they've just died back. And also over here is, this end over here is zucchini. I see one there we can pick, but I'm just going to go ahead and just dig these suckers up. I do have, I don't know if you can see, we got some pumpkins growing in these. They're still looking okay. The pumpkins they're not getting very big, but I'm going to leave those, give them some fertilizer, and we'll water everything good this evening when the sun starts going down. But we're going to start first here. We're going to start digging up. Look at that. That is a yellow crooked neck squash that got hidden over there in the grass that grew up. But of course it is no good anymore. But gosh, it got huge. It's rock hard. Looks like it's got warts all over it. Okay. Got that all pulled up. I'm going to, I got 2 zucchinis out of the remnants and 1 yellow squash. I got some more yellow squash inside, and we'll do something with those. So we are going to move on. I don't know if my sweet potatoes are ready. It's hard to tell unless you remember when you planted them and you count 90 days after you planted them. And I don't remember when I planted them. We may try digging in there and just seeing what there is. Not right now at the end. But I've got some more junk that's dying off to get rid of. So we'll go over here. Got some tomato plants that's just kaput. Okay. This one right here is kaput. It's just making some really tiny ones, and they're just not getting bigger or doing anything. And if they do, they got blossom end rot. So bye-bye to that one. The dirt was too hard for me just to pull it out. Okay, and then we got this one and this one and maybe that one. But these 2 right here, blossom end rot. They have blossom end rot. I have bought blossom end rot fertilizer and nutrients, and it just, I think I let them get too far gone. So we're just gonna get those out of the way. If you're seeing some little red tomatoes when I'm pulling these, hold on. There's a bunch of green ones on there and a bunch of these little ones. See, and they got rot. So that's why I'm just getting rid of them. I don't think they're going to amount to anything. This one right here has got it's still producing, and these look good. Like that one's just started blushing, and these look good. They're small, but it's still producing. So I think that even though it's got some black stems on it, it does still have a few more on there. I'm going to leave those. We're going to let those ripen up. Okay, I wanted you to see this pumpkin. I had turned it the other day, and it's got bug damage. I don't believe he is, he's not ready to pick by no means. But if I leave him here, he's just gonna rot more. So I am gonna pull him today and take him in and cut him and see if maybe he's ripe enough to preserve. So we'll see. Yeah, he's got some bug damage, and the stem is still green. It's not ready to pick. But I know one thing, if I leave him here, he's just going to continue rotting. So, might as well pick him and see what we got. And then I have another one over here that's looking good. We're going to let him go. I got several pumpkins around, and I'll show you what they're looking like. My butternut squash is not doing too good. The stems have already browned and they're little. But that's okay. We're going to do what we can do. Okay, my peppers in this bed have really popped. They've done really well, especially these that are habanadas. These are a mild pepper, and these plants, I have picked so many of these habanadas. I've made pepper sauce out of them. I've chopped them, froze them. Really, I planted 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 plants, and it has been more than enough for our little family. And plus, I have given away a lot. I'm not gonna do a weight. Let me see. Oh, where are you? I'm not gonna do a weight with these right now. I'm gonna pick them, and we'll do something with them. I may send some of these to Chris's work and give some out to the boys because they're delicious. These are one of my favorites that I have grown. I don't know if you can hear me. There's some bell peppers on here, but they're not very big. I'm gonna let them get a little bit bigger. My bell peppers have not gotten very big. I don't know why. But I've been picking them while they're a little bit small before bugs get on them, which is fine. But I got some good sized ones on here, and I think I'm just gonna let them continue on. I'm gonna water everything real good and fertilize tonight and see that last push of the garden, see what we can get. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and see what kind of okra we got. Got some okra. Ooh, there's a big one. Oh, we don't feel too hard. Good. So we're going to cut this okra. Oh, there's a big one too. It's still soft. I hate it when okra get too big and they're tough. There's a few pods on here. There's one over there. There's one right there. So I think that we'll cut those. Oh, it's so hot out here. So hot. Burning. Sizzling. But they just, and by the time you let this ripen on your counter or in your windowsill, this just turns to mush where the bug has gotten into it. I've tried to salvage some of them, but it's just not working. It did not working, everybody. Let's go on the other side over here. This is like a grown-up mess. I do have a lot of okra to put up. We may do that today. My daughter's only request out of the whole garden is for pickled okra. So I think I'm going to take these like smaller pods and do a couple of jars of pickled okra. She loves pickled okra, and as a matter of fact, she brought me a few tomato plants that one of her customers gave her for me to put out here for pickled okra, and that was all it was to be used for. And I just did these few plants, and I've gotten a pretty good amount from it. And then a guy that works for my husband, he has a huge garden, and he brought me a 5-gallon bucket of tomatoes that I froze most of them, and I gave some away to the kids yesterday. And then a big old thing of okra that I have put up some of it in the freezer. Squashes and zucchini. So that's why I'm done with squashes and zucchinis. I've got enough. I've had enough. I've got enough put up. So we're just going to let that just lie. Okay. So over here, let's move you to the next bed. Over here, and I know it's so grown up you can't differentiate from bed to bed, but there was a bed here, and now we're on this bed. You can kind of see where it separates right there. These are my jalapeno peppers and my banana peppers, mild banana peppers. It has been so hot. But that's okay, because the rest of it we'll do inside in the air conditioning. So I want to kind of get through these peppers too. I'm going to harvest what I can harvest. Jalapenos, banana peppers. I'm going to go ahead and pull some of these jalapenos that are pretty decent size. And then, moving to the next set, is this paste tomato, Roma tomato plant right here that it's leaning, and I am pulling these as they begin blushing so that the bugs don't terrorize them. See, I let that one stay a little bit red and the bugs got them. That's all I see that's blushing. Okay. Okay, right here in this area is basil. And I'm going to come and cut just about scalp the plant because it's starting to wilt and get some brown spots on it, so we'll deal with that. Okay, I'm just going to show you. I had pulled most of my onions. I'll show you. They're a little bitty. We're going to have to do something with those today because they're not really big enough for storage onions. But I left, well, my big head is shadowing it, but I left some in here to see if they would get bigger. Maybe a little bit. I may give these another week or so and see what they do. There's that little pumpkin I just pulled, put up on the dirt. These are the size of the bell peppers right now. I mean, there's some pretty good sized ones, but I think I'm going to let them get a little bit bigger before I get those. And I'll show you, I've got over here, I got this pumpkin. I'll tell you the name of them on the screen. I can't remember right off. That's called Age, ladies and gentlemen. I've got it written down though. I've got that one. Everything's wilting. Gosh, the sun starts going down, I'm going to come out here and water really good. We got a lot of rain yesterday. Got that little guy there. He's growing pretty good. And I got that one that we are going to, it's over there, you can't see it, that one we talked about. I'm going to get it. And then, oh, try not to step on all my vines. That little orange one, I'll put on the screen what it's called. This is a blue Hubbard right there. I'm getting my head out of the way. There's another little blue Hubbard, another little orange one. And these are my butternuts that they are just not doing too good. There's a new one coming up there. But maybe they'll keep on and grow and get big and strong. Let me get out of here without stepping on anything important. Okay, so that's the big one that we're going to take in. I will mulch some of this stuff that I pulled. Got one growing right there. It's a little one. Maybe it'll do something. I've got this one right there. And I think that might be all that's in the process. I think that's all that's in the process of growing. Oh, and I was going to dig and see what these sweet potatoes are doing. Hang on one second. Sweet potatoes. I didn't feel any, I got it zoomed up. Oh, I did not feel anything of size down there, so I'm just going to leave them alone. We're going to leave them alone. Okay. Woo! Praise the Lord for air conditioning. Can I get an amen? It is hot to trot. Okay, first thing we're going to do, I brought in our goodies. Haven't done anything with those. We've got to give them a wash. But I brought in that pumpkin with the bad spots, and I have washed it, and I'm just going to cut into it and see. I really would have loved for this to have ripened all the way, but we're going to cut into it. Ugh. And see. Ooh-wee. I may have to have a man. Ooh, it's so hard. Oh, it smells good. I think that we'll go ahead and roast this up and preserve it. Oh, I was going to look, hang on. Get my little map out of the pumpkins that I planted, and I was going to see what this was. Fairy tale. Fairy tale pumpkin. I had a... Yeah, this is a fairy tale. Those blue ones that I said were blue Hubbards, they were not. They're blue Bayou pumpkins. And I don't know what those orange ones were. Blue Bayou, butternuts, fairy tale. There's no telling. Stuff's showing up in my garden that I swore I didn't plant, but... And those beds are new. I mean, it's got all new dirt, so it's not any volunteers yet. Smells very sweet. Okay, I'm gonna finish cutting this up. I'm gonna get my oven turned on to 350 because we're gonna roast this up. Okay. I'm gonna scrape the seeds out. Go away, gnats. I'm going to put a little bit of avocado oil on the bottom of a sheet pan with some parchment. And I'm going to do cut side down. I've always done cut side down on winter squashes, but I saw some people do it cut side up. It dries it out more. You don't have so much juice, but we're just gonna go like I normally do it. I may try that later on. So I'm just scraping seeds. I hope I can get all these on this one. I may have to play Jenga. There we go. That'll work. Okay, so when my oven preheats, I'm going to put these in and let them roast. Let me clean up my mess and we'll come back and do some more junk. I'm really excited about that pumpkin being ripe. I can't believe it. Okay, so we're gonna take our goodies that we got from the garden. The first thing I'm gonna do is work on all this basil that I cut. Oh, I love this smell almost as well as chocolate, the way chocolate smells. I love basil. Love it. I've already harvested from that plant several times. And what I have been doing is freeze drying it. And then crumbling it up to put in for spices. And I've got enough to last us a good long while, but I am going to be canning up tomato projects later on. I mean, not today, and I will need basil for that. So I'm just getting all these. I should have put the basil in a separate basket, but anyway, I'm just going through here and picking out leaves that just got intertwined and all the other goodies. Okay. Ooh, when I picked this up, oh, yeah, it's got a really soft spot. I'm just going to chunk this. I'm going to chunk that zucchini. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go through and I'm just going to pick leaves off. That looks good. If I get a stem in there, it's okay. I don't mind a stem. But I'm just going to pick off leaves. Let's see if I can find one. See, I got some like that has died, and so I just want to make sure I don't get any leaves like that. So we're going to do this. And I want to tell y'all about our weekend. Let me get you up to my face. I feel like I'm connected with you if I can see you. Okay, I can't see you, but anyway, I feel like I'm talking to you by not looking at you. You don't know what I mean? I'm crazy. Anyway, so our weekend. Last week was mine and Chris's birthday. We are 4 days apart. We don't have the same birthday, but we're 4 days apart. So we always, however it fall, a weekend, a Saturday falls around our birthdays. Sometimes it's in the middle of mine and his. Sometimes it's closer to his. Sometimes it's closer to mine. Anyway, however that works, we have the kids and family and friends over, and we just usually do a pool party, cook out, hang out, and just enjoy time with them. And that's what we did this past Saturday. Had my son, my daughter-in-law, daughter, my nephew, his wife, his 2 kids, and my best friend and her husband. I think that was all. And then Chris's parents came over some. But we have such a good time. I mean, it's just like, we have such a good time. And I enjoy it so much. It's a lot of work, you know, getting the house ready for company, and, you know, even though my son is a cook, he loves to cook, he's a very good cook. I may have told y'all that before, but he'll usually plan the menu, and he'll buy the majority of the food to bring. And then he gets me and Chris separate cakes. But he's so good about doing that. And this year he decided on, I mean, of course he runs it by us. If that's something we don't want, he wouldn't do it. But he was going to do Japanese on the Blackstone. We're like, yeah, we all like Japanese. And so he did. Gosh, I wish I had taken a picture of it to show y'all. He did chicken, steak, vegetables, which was zucchini, squash, onions, mushrooms. He did a stir-fry vegetables on there. We did egg fried rice, and we did lo mein noodles, and then had an Asian slaw. Oh my gosh. It was, I mean, everybody raved about it. Everybody was like, hey, this is what we need for Christmas. Forget about the turkey and dressing. We need to do this for Christmas too. So everybody enjoyed it. We have a ton left over that we'll be eating on for the next few days. And it was delicious. We had just a great time just hanging out. My nephew had just gotten back from a mission trip to the Amazon. And he was showing us pictures, and plan is like later on in the evening, we were going to settle down. We were all going to snuggle on the sofa and look at all his pictures and let him tell us all the stories about it. And it got late. He got tired. He was still jet lagged. And so they ended up leaving. But he's going to come back in a couple of weeks, and we're going to go through all of it. But he really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to look at all the pictures. So, I'm going to finish doing this. Seemed like there was something else I was going to tell y'all. Cash is doing better, my dog. If you hadn't been with me, he ended up swallowing a toy and had to have surgery and all that. But he is 99% back to normal. And I was going to show you these. These are the little onions that I had already picked. They're very small, you know, but they're usable. I did let them dry out outside for a while, but they're not going to store long. So we are going to do something with those today. And then I've got a bunch of okra we got to do something with. And, you know, just wrapping up the weekend with wrapping up some of these veggies I don't want to let go bad. So I'm going to finish picking these basil leaves, and then I'll be back. Okay, I got them picked off, I got them washed, and I just got them in a salad spinner. Get as much of the water off of them as I can. And what I've got here, earlier, like a couple weeks ago, I went out there and picked, washed, and then I just stuck them in a freezer bag and put them in the freezer. And then I'm just going to add these to it. See the color difference? This is frozen fresh. Now I'm going to put these in the freeze dryer to let them freeze dry. If you don't have a freeze dryer, you can use your dehydrator. If you don't have a dehydrator, that's a big stem, you can put it on. You can really, if you've got hot weather like we do, set it outside and let them dry, or you can dry them in the oven. Or you can just freeze them and use for fresh cooking. However you want to do it. And this is some thyme that I froze too. I'm going to stick this back in the freezer because I want them frozen before I put them in the dehydrator. And then I'm leaving this out because I'm going to chop up the onions to go in the freeze dryer too. And I'm going to add this thyme. Okay, so change your plans. I think I'm gonna take these little onions and I'm just gonna chop them up and just put them in the freezer instead of freeze drying them. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think we'll just freeze them. Okay, so here is a pan of okra that I have that one of Chris's co-workers or workers gave to him or us. That I've already froze some of it. It was a big old bag full, but these are all washed and good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash these that I picked today, and then I'm going to pick out the little ones for pickled okra, and the others I'm going to cut up and I'm going to show you how I freeze them. I may have shown y'all this before. I know I've told y'all about it. I'm not sure if I showed you, but I think that's all. So I'm gonna give these a quick rinse. Now I've seen, you know, I try to do organic gardening where I don't do any pesticides, or it's, you know, do organic fertilizer and stuff. And I see people who just pick stuff out of the garden and eat it and oh, it's clean, I'm organic. I don't care. Bugs get on these and they poop on them. I know they do. They poop, they pee on them. So I'm washing everything that comes out of my garden. Yep. So I'm just going to pick out the small ones. Like this and this. And put these in a separate thing to pickle. And then the bigger ones I will slice up. Okay, got the okra cut up, and I've got a gallon Ziploc bag, freezer bag, and I'm gonna put about a half a cup of just all-purpose flour, and this is just buttermilk cornmeal mix, and I'm going to do 2 cups of that. And then about 2 teaspoons of salt. And about a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm just going to squeeze it and get it mixed up. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, we're going to start adding in I do some okra, and I'm going to seal it up. Shake it around. And then some more. I think I can get all this in here. And then when you see that it's all coated, you just let out a corner, open up a corner, and get all the air out. Oh, do you see that just puff up? And get as much of the air out as you can. And voila. And I'm just going to stick this in the freezer, and then when we want some, I'll get out what I need and fry it up. Okay, we're going to pickle some okra. So I've got 3 pint jars. I'm not sure how many I'm going to need, but I've got pint jars. And let me bring you down and scooch you and zoom you and adjust you. Okay, so I'm going to go start packing these. And the okra, sharp point up. I'm going to start putting these in, packing them in. And it's easier if I tilt it over this way to put them in. So to this, I'm going to pack them more, but while we're in the middle of this, I'm going to get a teaspoon of dill seed. Put it in. A half a teaspoon of salt. And a teaspoon, a whole clove of garlic if you got fresh garlic. But I'm just going to put a scant teaspoon of garlic powder in it. And now we're going to go tip side up and fill it the rest of the way. Okay, to a little pot, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of just water and 1.5 cups of vinegar. A little more than 1.5 cups. I'm going to put this on the stove and bring it to a simmer. Okay, so I got that just a little simmer, and we're going to fill the jars. I can't really get, so I'm just banging on these to kind of get the bubbles come to the top. Just mashing down. A little bit too much in that one. pressing them down. Because once they get into the water bath, they're going to soften up and there'll be more room. Okay. Okay, let's go over to the stove and water bath them. I didn't get out my big water bath canner because for 3 pints, but I got a heavy bottomed stainless steel pot. And they're covered good with water. So I'm going to bring this up to a boil. Once it starts boiling, I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes and we'll be good to go on that. So while that's going, I'm going to start chopping up on the onions. I'm going to do the yellow ones first. I'm going to keep the yellows and the reds separate. Some of those onions weren't good. Well, I'm going to do this in a quart freezer bag. Whoop. It's almost at a boil. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the red ones. Little onions are a lot more difficult to peel than big ones. Got those processed. We're doing some good today. Yes, we are. For tumbling through. Oh, and there goes my timer. Just in time. Red onions. I always do that backwards. Woo, that's hot. We're just going to do it backwards. Okay, got my red onions. I got my red onions. I got my yellow onions. I've got a bag of battered, ready to fry okra to go in the freezer. All those three things are going to the freezer. Got my basil ready to go in the freezer so I can freeze dry it when I get enough to do. And we got pickled okra done. This is the pan to pickle the okra that I did, and there was a bunch of these that were just too hard to cut up. And that happens. You go out there and they're this big, and then the next day you go out there and they're this big and they've gotten too tough. But that's okay. We still had a lot. So I do have squashes to do something with, and some peppers and stuff like that, but I'm gonna call it a day today. I'm tired. Yesterday just took it out of me, but I'm very pleased. I got stuff done that's not gonna sit around and rot. So I think that we're good. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. Y'all are great, wonderful, the best. And I really, really, really appreciate every one of you that are watching. And I know that this wasn't a cooking video or anything like that, but I had these things that I needed to do, and I still, it's about 4:15, probably about 6 o'clock when the sun starts and it kind of cools off a little bit. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna get rid of all the squash plants, tomato plants, and stuff like that I pulled up, and I'm gonna give everything a really, really good dose of some fertilizer and water so that we get the most out of what's left in the garden. It's not gonna be today, but I am gonna add some more compost to the beds that I cleared out, and I'm gonna plant something there. So I gotta go out there in my seeds and see what I got that I can plant before our first frost date. I would like to get some more winter squashes, but August, September, October, that would be 90 days. I might could get some more winter squash out if I go ahead and plant this week. So I may do that, but I am going to plant some stuff that I haven't planted yet. I just don't know what that is yet, but I'll bring you along for the ride when we do that. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Love you guys again. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Mwah!